You're listening to Braless Watch, where a mother and daughter team offer their own opinions on watching TV through a feminist lens.
I'm Beth, the mom.
And I'm Lily, the daughter.
Welcome to Braless Watch, where TV watching gets a whole new perspective. Clothing is optional.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good.
This is going to be an interesting record.
It will, because it was a challenge.
It really was. And by challenge, it was an actual challenge. Before we get into the actual show, so this time we're talking about Rugrats season 1. Mm-hmm. Came out in 1991. Mm-hmm. Before we get into the history, normally we'd do history first, but why don't you do trigger warnings first this time?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I laugh because some of these are very nuanced, but they're the ones that bothered me. So
okay, here we go.
I'm just gonna put these out there and yeah. Okay, so trigger warnings are unconsented touch.
Okay.
Distracted parenting. Safety compromises. Mm-hmm. Child endangerment. Mm-hmm. Cisgendered perspective. Making a mess.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
You know, for some people that's going to be pretty triggering. Unsupervised circumstances around the children. Babies and children crying. That can be triggering.
Yes.
Dog bearing teeth. Mm-hmm. Cisgender identifiers. Mm-hmm. Fireworks. Missing child. Mm-hmm. Bullying. Name calling. Gendered social constructs. Manipulation. Neglect. Kidnapping. Animal cruelty. This is when the dog gets put out in a storm. Dental mm-hmm. trauma and coercion.
Okay. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot for a kid's show.
It is a lot for a kid's show.
Yeah, so Rugrats is a kid's show.
I think it was marketed to kids because Nickelodeon was behind it. Well, but I think it was really meant for families. I think the people that created it was meant for families.
That was kind of the point. So Nickelodeon originally, when they first got started, so they're the first network channel mm-hmm. that was specifically for kids. Mm-hmm. And they started in 1979. Mm. So between that and 1991, they were only airing reruns from other networks and foreign shows, a lot of Canadian shows.
Ah, yeah.
Like Double Dare and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was that was a lot in the 80s. So in 1991, they decided to create their own content, which is what this is one of.
Right. This is one of the founding
it is.
TV shows from that time. Mm-hmm.
Along with Doug and the Ren and Stimpy show.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And it was a whole creative shift for Nickelodeon to try to do these more animated shows because they originally tried in like the mid 80s, mm-hmm. but there was too much executive oversight, quote unquote, that they couldn't just get anything done. There was too much fighting that they never got anything.
Too many people in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. So, yeah. I will say, Rugrats, we're only doing season 1 today. There are 9 seasons in total. Mm-hmm. It is the third of Nickelodeon's longest running animated series after SpongeBob and The Fairly Odd Parents.
Okay.
So Rugrats is right after that.
Yeah, it's a franchise. It's got 2 movies, long term.
It's also,
and it's got it's got more than 2 movies. There's a couple of them that are crossovers. There's a couple of them that are just about the kids.
Oh yeah,
in different places.
They also had a continuation series called All Grown Up.
Mm-hmm. They did.
But it's also Rugrats itself is the 8th longest running animated series.
Wow.
Overall, in American. Let me specify that with American animated series.
Yeah.
It ties with King of the Hill.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
So with that, let's start with our opinions on this show.
Do you want my initial opinions?
Yeah, let you go. You're the parent here, so I'll let you go first because I have a different perspective than you do on this.
Yeah, true. So, okay, I'm just going to flat out say I hate the show. I was fully bored and annoyed and disturbed by what I was watching. And I got full on ick. How about that?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, continue, I guess. I have a question, but I'll hold it.
Okay. So my initial thoughts, and I did write this down because I was like, I can't keep it in my head. It was too disturbing. It's very gendered and a binary. There's no LGBT representation. There's a character that does wear a female symbol on her shirt.
That's Betty.
That's Betty, yeah. Dee Dee's best friend, the mom best friend. But contrary to not having the LGBT representation and stuff, there is a sense of equality in the family. A sense.
Almost.
Yes, almost until I got to the last bits of the last few episodes, and then it started to sort of break apart, and I was like,
I saw it in the first episode.
Oh wow, okay. Anyway, so there's still some try at equality with the roles.
There is a try. I will see that.
There's a try.
I will say, I was doing some research on the longevity of Rugrats and why is it so popular, because I also did not enjoy this.
Oh, okay.
At all. I didn't enjoy any bit of it. So I was trying to figure out the longevity of it. I'm guessing it gets better in the next seasons.
Yeah.
Because there was talk of people talking, like on Reddit, about how the parents are more fleshed out.
Right.
And we don't see that in this first season.
No, we don't.
We don't see them
that
at all. So apparently they become more fleshed out. But
well, and I'm wondering too if this was sort of their pilot season, for lack of a better way of describing this.
I mean,
we have some shows where this first season is just not quite what it actually is if you get to season 2 and move on.
Right. Take
so I'm
The
wondering
Office,
if there's
Parks and Rec, those kind of things.
Keeping Up Appearances is another good
Keeping
example.
Up Appearances,
yeah,
that was a great one.
You watch the season 1 and you're like, really?
Mm-hmm.
What makes this show so popular? Even in Bob's Burgers, it happens where the first few episodes are like, why is this popular?
Yeah, the first couple of seasons are very different than 3 and onward.
Yeah, it's like the show has to get its footing somehow.
It does.
And I think that's kind of where we're at with this show. But since we're specifically speaking on season 1,
yeah,
initially that is my right now opinion about it.
Well, also, show. I think a lot of, with any kind of pilot, right? Doesn't matter if it's a first season, first episode, first 15 minutes. You're supposed to capture something, an essence of the show, something that's going to capture people and draw them in to listen, to read on, to watch on, to continue to trying to find it.
Right.
I found none of that in this season.
I didn't either, and the second initial thought I had, and then I just wrote this just a little bit ago, was the show's very white-centric and heteronormative, and it's just so white-centric.
It is.
There's no people of color.
It is.
At all.
So my problem with it, so don't hate me, people, but I don't like kids to begin with.
Right.
I have never liked kids. Even as a kid, I didn't like other kids.
Yeah.
I preferred being around adults. It's not that I wish harm on children. That's not it. I prefer them to be happy and healthy away from me.
Right.
That's it.
think that's not an uncommon opinion these days.
It might not be, but I'm not a fan of children, and so watching this when it's about children, it was just not that good.
It wasn't that good.
And I felt like it might have been better if it was around 5-year-old kids rather than 1 and 2.
Right. Maybe because they have a little bit more autonomy at that age.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But in general, I was annoyed and.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was also annoyed with the parents.
Yes.
They're so inept.
Yes.
At just being people, not to parents, being people.
Right.
There's the whole episode with the Grand Canyon, and Angelica draws on the map, and so they take a random road.
Right. They don't even notice that the map has been drawn on with a purple crayon.
Right. With a purple crayon, or it was a marker.
Oh, marker.
It was a purple.
Yeah.
But also, she had markers, but not coloring books.
Right.
Anyway.
So many of those kinds of questions came up for me, and I'm just like, no.
It reminded me of the episode of The Office where Michael drives into a lake because the GPS says to take a turn, and so he drives into a lake.
Right.
That's what it reminded me of, and I was like, they're that, and that's annoying.
Yeah, because it seems like society is actually driving how they're parenting, right?
Right.
Dee Dee relies on a freaking book
She
to
does.
tell her how to parent rather than her own intuition.
Yep.
So that's annoying.
That's so annoying.
Anyway, so yeah, do you want me to get like the background of like who created it and how that came about?
Sure,
and all
yeah,
that stuff?
let's do that. And then talk about cast and stuff too.
Sure. So this was inspired and created by Arlene Klasky. And from what I read about it, she was a mom at the time, and she was working from home, and she saw the challenges of trying to watch them while working from home. And she had this idea of, I wonder what they would say if they had the ability to talk to me, right? Mm-hmm. So this was born out of that idea. And she presented it to her husband. I'm guessing I don't know if they were married at the time, but I'm guessing. I don't know. Anyway, Gabor Supo.
Okay.
Yeah. And they have a company, and at the time that this came out, it was Supo Animation, and it's now Klasky Supo Productions. And then they presented it to Paul Germain, and you'll know that name from The Simpsons.
Yes.
He was part of the initial growth of The Simpsons from the her name is escaping me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Simpsons were born on another show.
Yeah,
it was a variety show.
Yeah,
and that's how Paul Germain got started, and then it birthed into what we now know as
a lot of animated shows got that kind of start.
So anyway, so this is inspired by her, just her life, right, and how she envisioned it. And it's set in Southern California area.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
that I did know.
Yeah. So anyway, it has. I didn't want to list all of the cast because a lot of these people do multiple voices. So I just limited it to the Pickles family.
They're the main character in this first season. The other characters are really just either recurring characters or secondary characters.
Yeah, there was a lot of times I noted where certain characters weren't in a show, and then some of them, they just came in and out, flitted in and out. Yeah. So I focused my cast
on the Pickles family.
On the Pickles family. Yeah. So Tommy Pickles is played by Elizabeth E.G. Daly. Dee Dee Pickles is played by Melanie Chardoff. Stu Pickles is played by Jack Riley, who then changed into somebody else later. And I didn't write that name down.
Okay.
Drew Pickles is played by Michael Bell. Angelica Pickles is played by Cheryl Chase. And Grandpa Lou, also known as Pop, played by David F. Doyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And some of these do change, like, is it Angelica changes later? There's like certain people that change into other
I thought the cast
actors.
was fairly stagnant, but I didn't look too far into it.
It's a long list of people who do voiceovers, and it changes over time.
Of course.
So,
I mean, that happens with a lot of animated series.
Yeah.
It's just on par.
Yeah. So, I have an overall question I wrote down, and I don't know if it's...
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay, yeah, ask the question.
This was my question earlier. Would you rather watch this or watch Happy?
Oh, I'd rather watch Happy.
Okay. Because the ick factor, there's an ick factor in Happy, but it's a very different ick factor.
It is. It doesn't... Happy scratches the social justice itch.
It does.
Although it's in a dark way.
Uh-huh.
And it's dark comedy.
And crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. This ick is so disturbing to me in a way that my safety feels compromised. And that is my CPTSD coming up. And also reflection of my own...
It's not just you. I'm going to be honest.
Past, yeah.
It was affecting me too. It was ridiculous. How many times they went to the movie theater and sat the children down on the floor?
Ew. Yeah, gross.
That's just gross. That's disgusting.
At the front, where everything falls and rolls down, which soda gets poured or whatever.
And then they also didn't notice that the children left. I mean, there's so many parenting decisions. And then, so I was going to bring this up later, but I'll bring it up now. The trial episode, episode 12, or episode 12, part A, the trial.
I did the A and B.
Yeah. So, because they had little segments, so they're mini episodes. So the trial, Angelica and Drew come over, and Angelica brings Fluffy, her new cat. And the Pickles family already have a dog named Spike.
Mm-hmm.
And they leave all of the children in the room
Mm-hmm.
with the cat and the dog alone.
Mm-hmm. And to us, this is the first introduction of this cat.
Right? Well, almost. There was one mini scene where Angelica's cat appears. That is it. In a previous episode.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay.
It was very small. It was when they called over to Drew's house. That was it.
Okay.
So they leave the cat who has never been to this house and a dog who has never met said cat with one children under 3, because Angelica's 3.
Mm-hmm.
All alone in a room.
Mm-hmm.
There are 5 children in that room. Or 6. It's 5, I think.
I don't remember. Just children.
I think it's the twins,
There's
Tommy,
no adult supervision
Chucky.
at all going on.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah.
What? That is the dumbest parenting decision. They are lucky that animals didn't get into a fight.
Yeah.
And start hurting each other and the children.
You right? Yep. Yep.
Because that is animal nature.
Right?
Especially for Spike. This is his home.
Right?
He's going to protect it.
Yeah. Right?
I know a lot about how to take care of dogs.
Right.
And that's not how you do
or
it.
take care of pets at all. It's not good for the cat either.
It's
to be
not.
exposed to an animal that is, I mean, from the animation, it looks like the dog is double its size.
Right?
And there's no reason that they should be in the same room together without supervision of any kind.
Right?
Yeah. Or to be split apart or whatever.
Neither one of them is on a leash.
Nope. Nope.
We're lucky they had collars.
Right.
Oh, I know how to take care of pets. That I can do. And that's not how you do that.
I mean, you know how to take care of kids too.
I mean, I can.
And that's just not, yeah.
I can take care of kids.
There were so many instances of neglect.
Yes.
And poor parenting decisions. And just abandonment of any kind of care about the safety of these children. Mm-hmm. I was dumbfounded and confused and angry, and like a bunch of feelings came up, and it all culminated into a really big lump of ick.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's the parenting side of things.
Yeah.
I do want to talk, we can go through the episodes to talk this through, but I do want to talk about the heteronormative social roles that they fall into. And it happens in the first episode, so we'll talk about that real quick. So the first episode, in the very first little bit, we see was it them trying to feed the child carrots? I think that's it.
Oh, the baby food, baby carrots, baby
so
food.
There is that, but also at the very beginning, very beginning, the first scene, Dee Dee is changing Tommy's diaper. Not a big deal. That's fine. Stu is disgusted and also not paying attention to Dee Dee.
Right.
He's ranting on about whatever the hell he's talking about.
Right.
I was like, dude, pay attention to your wife. And then the thing happens with the carrots because Stu's trying to feed Tommy. Tommy doesn't really want it, and so it ends up on Stu's shirt, which, number one, was his favorite shirt.
Well, and Dee Dee references some random doctor person or somebody that
that's
supposed
in
to tell
the
her
book.
how to feed her child.
It's Dr. Lipschitz. And the book is called Guide to Parenting. Anyway, but when that happens, he doesn't just continue trying to feed the child. He just sets the bowl down and walks away, and Dee Dee tries to help. Dee Dee comes over to help.
Yeah, they leave the child alone in the high chair, which is fine.
So that's a parenting thing. But the heteronormative part is why did Dee Dee go to help at all?
Right.
There's another episode, and I can't remember what episode this is. I'd have to look through my notes. But there's another episode where the tie gets put in the toilet. Tommy puts the tie in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
He comes upstairs with child and tie, Stu does, or downstairs, whatever, to the kitchen. Puts child on ground, complains about the tie. Dee Dee is doing something, takes tie from him while he's complaining, wrings it out, and then gives it back to him. She didn't need to do any of that bullshit.
Nope.
Let him do it. Also, why is the child on the floor? Stop putting your child on the floor.
I mean, you spent some time on the floor. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's fine, but stop putting them in the middle of the walkways.
The level of
there was not a demarcated
distractedness.
place.
Yeah.
Yes. There's not a demarcated blanket or anything.
I want to roll it back just a bit on the neglect and abandonment. Those are really strong words to describe the parenting style. Mm-hmm. It really is distractedness. There's no present mind here, right? They're focused on future or the past or whatever, especially Stu.
Yeah.
There's this sense that there's some kind of grudge between him and his brother, and like it's all very much not about the kid.
It's not.
Yeah. But they are new parents, so that kind of makes sense a little bit, but they've had a year and some change to really get a handle on this new responsibility in their family life.
Right. And they just haven't.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to say, too, that I'm not against reading books about raising children. By all means, please learn more about raising children. But then use that to make your own judgments based on your own circumstances, where you know.
Also your own kid.
Yeah, your own kid.
Because every kid is different.
Yep.
And you have to treat them different.
Yep. Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Yeah. But this is from a kid's perspective, so I have to keep reminding myself that this is from a kid's perspective, and it really is just a subjective.
Which I think is why it's supposed to be as fantastical as it is.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of just forgetfulness.
So, I was thinking about this, about how it's about Tommy's imagination and
if you put Tommy as
on.
the protagonist, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's supposed to be from the kids' perspectives as a whole. Not
but
just
if it was
Tommy's.
that way, they should have just leaned further into that and not involve the parents as much.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's too much trying to marry the whole
doing
family
both.
life situation with this fantastical adventure that these kids go on and get into all kinds of very unsafe circumstances.
Yeah.
And, I even made a note that Tommy, for most of these adventures they go on, these kids would end up maimed, dead. Like, there's some circumstances that would not turn out well because these kids have been messing around with things they shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. And no one noticed. None of the adults. It's not just the parents, right?
Yeah, it's none of the adults that are in charge. Yeah.
It's not even... It's any of the adults.
Yeah.
Because it happens in the supermarket. It happens at the movie theater.
Yep.
None of the adults step in when they're supposed to.
Right.
There is a 1-year-old in a supermarket wandering around.
Right. Just
step
left to his own
in.
devices. He ends up at the bottom of the cart in the grocery store, and the lady
she just screams. She just screams.
And I'm like, that's not how I would react if there was another person's child under my cart. I'd be like, where'd you come from?
Right.
Where's your parent? Right? Like, let's take you to customer service.
Where's your adult?
Right? You shouldn't be on your own because you're vulnerable, right? But yeah, the vulnerability of the child doesn't seem to be a priority here.
Of any of the children, not just.
Yeah.
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 So let's talk about episode 1 a little bit. So it's Tommy's first birthday. So it's his birthday party. This is a great introduction, I will say, to all of the characters because all of them come over. They don't say their names enough. So
I had to go through and try to figure out who's who.
Yeah, it took me a while. At one point, it was just Dee Dee and the other mom. I had no idea.
Right.
It took me a while to figure out, Betty's her name.
Right. They didn't do very well in the introduction of these characters.
No.
It's just sort of there now.
Yeah. And I think part of that is because it's a 20-minute and there's a lot of...
Right.
There's a lot of characters.
Right. There are a lot of characters.
There's a lot of characters. So... we start off with his birthday party. The main thing I wanted to point out here was that Tommy starts opening gifts, right? He's 1, so he's not really doing it. It's the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the gifts is a baby monitor that you can, it's almost a walkie-talkie, where you can speak through it on both sides. So Tommy gets that. And I put that in quotes, Tommy gets that. It's more for the parents. Stu and all of the men disappear and take said gift and leave the women, which is Betty and Dee Dee, to take care of all 5 kids.
Oh my gosh.
And the dog.
Oh my gosh.
They disappear into, I guess, the backyard to play with these walkie-talkies. That's basically what they are.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? This is a birthday party.
Right?
And I understand it's a first birthday party. The kids aren't going to remember it. That's fair. I don't understand why Dee Dee's putting so much effort into trying to make it the perfect birthday party.
Representation to other people.
It is. She does say that. She does say this party's a disaster. Betty said I wouldn't say that. I've never seen the men so happy.
Wow.
Yep. Dee Dee also says, I never live up to being the mother I want to be. You know, like the moms on TV.
Wow.
And that's the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot in that.
Mm-hmm.
Of Dee Dee not living up to what society, right?
That's what I'm saying. Society
Standard.
is what's driven this whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. And then the men just disappearing just pisses me off so much.
Right.
It's a first birthday party for your child. Your child.
Right.
It's not somebody else's child. Why?
I mean, this kind of speaks to the roles that heteronormative social construct, like for us to believe, is that men are inept, they can't be parents, they're children themselves that also need to be raised in the marriage. Like those are just tropes. They're just ideas that have been ingrained. And some people live those out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an immaturity that needs to be matured.
Right?
Both emotionally
as
and
a society.
Yeah, as an identity, because that's ridiculous. No, you're not a full person until you've really grown in that way. And I mean, you're not really worthy of a relationship if you're not going to be fully, into that growth. Mm-hmm. And there seems to be some set of social norms here. I guess it would be social norms that even the grandpa is stunted in some of these social constructs of, I don't have to do that because that wasn't always expected of me.
I will say they take advantage of grandpa. There was one point where Dee Dee said something, will you watch Tommy or something like that. I don't even know if she asked a question. I think she just said, you're going to do it. And he was like, I'm not, why would I?
Right.
So he's being used for childcare.
Right.
Which
just
is also
because he lives there.
Yeah, I guess he lives there.
No, he does, because one of the episodes he actually came out of the room and.
Also, their house fucking huge.
Right.
Has a basement too.
Well, it makes me think of That's weird because does California have basements?
I'm not sure.
Right.
I know we don't here in the South.
Right.
But that's because of flooding and clay.
But yeah, so he does live in the house from what I can gather. At one point, Stu actually says something about, I'm going to watch, or we've been conscripted or something along those lines to watch the daycare. And I was like,
yes.
Oh, okay. So we see ourselves as just sort of
I think that was
a warden of a daycare. Is that how we're?
That was in episode 11. Touchdown Tommy.
Yeah.
I do want to get to that episode.
Yeah.
But we have a couple other episodes to talk about first.
Yeah. So yeah.
I know. Let's move on to episode 4B. Little Dude.
This was the most. I had to stop after this one and like take a break because I was so disturbed by this particular episode. So the rundown is that Dee Dee is taking Tommy to her classroom. She's a teacher.
High school.
Her high school classroom. She's a teacher.
She's a home ec teacher.
Yep. Which I have a little bit of history on that.
I have that too.
Oh, okay. So Dee Dee, and I'm my mom was a teacher, so this would not happen. You don't take small children to the classrooms like that. Even in elementary school, that's just not. You don't do that. There's a lot of safety issues with that, and a lot of other circumstances.
If you do, don't leave your child alone at any point.
No. This whole episode was the craziest thing,
right?
As parenting decisions go, or even just not as parenting, just someone in charge of a small child. You just don't do those things.
Yeah.
So she takes him to the school, and I guess her intent is to expose the children, the high school students, to the care of a child or care of a baby.
Yes. So they actually used to do something similar to that in the 40s and 50s, where they would sort of have a daycare situation for people who were trying to learn more about child rearing, basically.
Okay.
And raising children.
I have comments about that, but we'll slide those over.
Yeah, that's
Go
not
ahead.
important.
No, not today. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. But for this to happen in the 90s?
Right? So, yeah, there's a lot of things that shouldn't be happening. And it definitely wasn't happening in high school.
No.
This was... So home ec classes used to be a secondary school. It used to think like college, right? A trade school situation. It was part of that. And it eventually became part of high school as they wanted boys and girls to do it as more of a equality thing from the second wave feminism in the 1960s. When that was starting to rise, this started to come in. And so we had these home ec classes in high school rather than in college or as secondary or even a major, because it was a major. It still is, I think, in some places. It also got changed into, they started calling it family and consumer sciences rather than home ec. However, if you say that, people are going to go, what's that? And if you say home ec, everybody's going to go, I know what that is. So, but the classes started to disappear in high school because of schools losing budget and focus on standardized tests.
Yeah.
It's the same reason we lost shop classes too.
Yeah.
So,
I have
anyway,
comments about all that, but I'm not going to slide
my-
those over.
that's my home ec knowledge.
Right? It's the same information I had, so
I had a
fine.
lot. I read a lot. I kept going. There was more, but that's the important bits.
Right. So the most disturbing scene that was in that particular little episode, when Dee Dee realizes that Tommy needs his diaper changed.
Yes. So
She doesn't excuse herself to take the child to go get his diaper changed.
No.
She sets him on her desk, from what I can tell, and then proceeds to have everyone come up and inspect him.
Well, so I'm not sure his diaper was open.
It was not, but I did make a note that we didn't know that until this cool-ish
why was he
student
dressed
dude,
as a greaser?
Right? And
From the
why-
50s.
Right?
Why was this is in the 90s. Why is he dressed like a greaser?
I have comments.
And he takes an affinity to Tommy, but not like in a weird way. He has a brother that age.
Yeah, it's not predatory.
No.
Yeah.
He has a brother that age, and
But at one point, one of the students had a magnifying glass in between Tommy's legs. And I'm like, and the camera angle is from Tommy's perspective. So all we see is the student's face with this magnifying glass in between his legs. And we don't know if this dude's wearing a diaper or not. And I'm like, what the F?
yeah. This show had an interesting choice on some of the animation. It really liked to show the inside of mouths.
Right?
That was weird. I was not enjoying that.
Ugh.
I don't care about the inside of
Again,
mouths.
piling on the ick, right? Like, some of the decisions about this show were just not good ones.
Right.
Ugh. Anyway, so that lost me. And then Dee Dee proceeds to say, okay, he's been changed or whatever. And then, because
He got changed by the
cool guy,
greaser dude, Ramon.
Dee Dee knows these kids better than we do, right?
Right?
So you want to give her a grain of salt on judgment, but until she does this. And then she goes, there's three of the female portrayed students, that come up and go, please, please, please let us babysit him. Blah,
The
blah.
only reason they wanted to do that was because of Ramon.
Exactly. The cool guy.
The cool guy.
And she says, yes.
She lets him...
I have lunch to go get anyway, so you can go ahead and take him. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, take him
Your
where?
1-year-old child.
And you're going to let 3 high school girls take care of him? while you're gone for lunch for an hour.
I'm
or
so rolling
30
my
minutes.
eyes at right now. So yeah. I was pretty much done after that episode.
I trust me, I get it. I had a hard time watching this. I had a hard time pulling quotes because there wasn't many. Mm-hmm. This was not a show for me. I did not enjoy any bit of it.
It was super hard to get through. And I won't be watching season 2 through 9.
I don't think I will either.
Despite the changes that might be coming in the characters.
Think we're going to have to call this one a wash when it comes to the podcast and just give it up. And if the fans truly, truly want it, you guys will have to tell us. Go on, put it on Blue Sky and let us know.
Blue Sky, let us know, yeah.
If you truly want it, we will do it, but we're probably not going to like it.
This is one of those bottom of the barrel shows where we're like, if we run out of content, this is one of the shows we'll go back to.
We wanted to do a kids show. I didn't want to do this one specifically, but it works, but it's not the one I want. Yeah.
I mean, in the scheme of our endeavor on trying to highlight the history of TV and how feminism applies to it, it's important from a historical relevance in that it does highlight historical changes in not only how animation was being done, but then the portrayal of family and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's important. It's just, this is not the show.
It's a perpetuation. This show is a perpetuation of the white-centric social norms and, how, if you're privileged enough to have a house that size and have children in the neighborhood and stuff like that, and where everybody's sort of safe and there's no crime, except we had a burglary episode, which we can get to.
A kidnapping episode.
I have comments about that one. But, from the most part, in the outside of it, that, they can take vacations and they can, they have good family structure and relationships, and for the most part, and, just this, it's so white and so washed.
Of its time?
It's washed. It's washed with it's like saccharin. It's just very sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar sweet ish. Yeah. And I don't know, I find that disturbing as well, that you're trying to wash the America does not represent this.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah, there's so many social things I could connect to this.
Yeah.
And my brain is firing right now on that stuff. And I just want to slide all that over because that has nothing to do with what we're doing here.
Right. So we're talking about season 1. We're talking about Rugrats. And
I'm going to stay focused because my brain will go down these little rabbit holes.
I know.
And I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I know. So the next one I wanted to highlight was episode 5A, the beauty contest. Or beauty contest.
Oh, my God. Another one was so disturbing to me.
So the basic premise of this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, was basically using Tommy to get a boat. Yeah. So it was sort of selling your child.
Yeah, as a possession.
Except because he wasn't a girl, they had to pretend that he was a girl.
Right.
I literally put in my notes, gender has nothing to do with long hair. What the fuck does this? What is this?
I don't know if you noticed, but they put a blonde wig on him.
Oh, I noticed. I think that was more to match Angelica, though. It might be.
Maybe. I mean, to me, that is very white, very, there's a lot of, again, I can connect this to social constructs that are deep, deep seated in American culture. Like, we're talking hundreds of years. So, yeah.
Well, and so this is a beauty contest, not a beauty pageant. So those are two different things, but there's an age range for all of these things, for beauty contests and for beauty pageants. There's an age limit for those. So I'm surprised that Angelica and quote unquote Tommy were in the same
against each other.
Contest. Yeah. I have to say, Angelica's rendition of My Country 'Tis of Thee
was
very cute.
It was very cute. Lizardy.
My Country Tears of Thee.
Right.
It's very cute.
That made me laugh. That was
right?
really
That
cute.
was
That's
cute.
probably the only joy I got out of the whole thing was how they portrayed her being able to
Right.
recite that.
Recite what she thinks she's heard.
Right. It's cute. It's very, it's really funny because later in the series she actually corrects Tommy on Grand Canyon because Tommy's saying Graham Canyon.
She also corrects Tommy in the trial episode because he's like, "Isn't it jury?"
she calls
She
it
goes,
jerky.
No, it's the jerky. Get it right, Tommy.
Right. So yeah, I do want to talk about Angelica as just a character, but this particular.
Let's talk about this episode first.
Yeah, this episode was so disturbing in the fact that Grandpa thought he had any kind of power and that I guess he has been afforded this power in the social constructs that he could do this with this child.
Well, it's not just Grandpa.
And then he sells the idea to his son.
Yeah, and Stu goes along with it. He's very excited about it.
All because of a effing boat.
A boat.
Which,
What kind of rich white fuck is this? I don't understand.
Right?
It's a boat. But if they're in Southern California, there's boats everywhere.
I mean, regardless of that idea, it's just...
Why?
Why are you...
And why are you trying to basically sell your child for that?
Right? Sell your grandchild for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what really irritated me was the end. And Grandpa basically gets access to the boat anyway.
Yeah.
Which does speak to how white men end up winning, right? There's this sense of winning. Mm-hmm. But actually it's just steeped in white supremacy and patriarchal privilege. Mm-hmm. And that was a perfect portrayal of how that works, right? We're going to sell our children. We're going to sell our women. And then we get all the spoils from that. And we're seeing that play out now.
Yes, we are.
In full form on all media.
Yes, we are.
And this is not what this podcast is about.
It's not.
We're so against all of that.
We are against every little bit of it.
So much so every cell in my body is vibrating.
This show was very frustrating and generally annoying. I was annoyed by the kids. I was annoyed by the parents. I was annoyed by every character. There wasn't one redeeming quality for me.
I like the dog.
Oh, the dog was great.
Yes.
Because he saved the day every time.
Right? He had a protective nature to him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really hated that he was mistreated so many times.
Yeah, he
and
was
blamed for a bunch of stuff.
That annoyed. I took note of that every fucking time.
Right?
So I'm cursing a lot. Sorry, I apologize. Just a little bit. I apologize a little bit.
Are you warning people that you're triggered by something, but then you might be triggering other people with your cuss words?
Yeah. I'm just apologizing if that is getting a rise out of you. I do want to mention in the beauty contest episode, there's a black female judge. Did you see her?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so there's two black people. There's a black guy and in the middle, and then a black lady at the end. Perfectly fine. However, she has a price tag hanging off of her hat. That was part of the animation.
Right. I did notice the hat. Yeah.
And I was like, why? Why do this to this person?
I have ideas, but...
Okay, I can give you what I think it is, which is a nod to Minnie Pearl.
Yep.
Who was an American comedian and country singer. I'm not going to go into her...
She was white.
She was white, though. I wasn't going to go into her details.
But if you take that a little bit further...
She was on Hee Haw.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Which was a variety show, by the way.
It was
it will never get featured here, but
no,
yeah.
Because it's a variety show. But I was annoyed that that's what they chose for the only black lady on this panel.
Because they're whiting her up.
They are.
Which is so disturbing. And again,
I'm annoyed.
I'm vibrating. So angry.
So annoyed. I was like, what the fuck? What does this mean? What are they trying to say with this? If you don't know Minnie Pearl, what are you trying to say with this portrayal?
Right.
that she can't pay, that she's going to take it back?
Right?
Is that what you're trying to say?
Right? Yeah.
Because I don't believe that bullshit for a second.
Right. Right. And this beauty contest is something that people are doing as a volunteer. Is she being paid to be a judge of this? Like,
it opens so many. One fucking price tag opens so many questions.
Yep.
And it was a choice. I don't think it was a good one.
Right? Oof. Now I kind of want to go back to see if there's any other little details like that.
Oh, probably.
I don't want to disturb myself in that way, though.
I know.
Or trigger myself. This was so hard to swallow anyway.
It was.
As content. And I'm like,
okay.
Nope.
So, are you done with the beauty contest?
I think so.
Okay. So, the last episode I wanted to talk about.
Oh, I just
You
read
want to go back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mind?
No.
So I just read one of the notes I wrote in the beauty contest, and I think it's important to point out, but Stu kept it from his wife, Dee Dee, that he did that.
Oh, yeah. It was important to keep it away from Dee Dee.
Yeah. Yeah. So upon that, I would suggest that Stu take some reflection on that. Why in the hell would you hide something like this from your wife?
Why are you hiding something about your child to your wife?
Your shared child.
Yeah, shared child.
From the other caregiving person
in
your life. So,
and it's not like I'm hiding it because it's going to be a birthday surprise situation. It's not that. He wants to hide it completely. I don't know how the hell he wanted to decide to hide the fucking boat.
Right? Once it came home, if he
right?
won. Yeah.
How the hell was he going to do that?
So, yeah, he didn't think through that. And she found out anyway. And of course, she was rightfully mad. But it's not portrayed or
she wasn't mad enough.
Yeah, she wasn't mad enough. And you know, it wasn't conveyed to the audience as to why she was mad either. It's implied, and you only have to know about feminism to even understand why she would be mad.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it opens a lot of doors. I could go on a
rant about how beauty contests and beauty pageants are not great, are not good.
Like I said, there's a bunch of social constructs here that just need to be slid over because we could get off on a tangent pretty fast.
We could go on so many tangents, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Rugrats. So, moving on to episode 11A, Touchdown Tommy. So this episode involves the guys wanting to watch a game.
Yep.
And Dee Dee and Betty wanting to go shopping. Already, I'm annoyed. Because why can't Dee Dee have any other hobbies? Why can't Betty have any other hobbies? Why can't the guys have any other hobbies? I actually made a note about that with Betty. The only guy who was not really interested in the game was Chucky's father, Chaz. Yeah. He kind of reminded me of Carl from Jimmy Neutron, I'm going to be honest. Anyway. That's a whole side thing. That's not about the episode. But the episode itself, Stu creates the baby protection bumper thing hat. Oh my God. So that he doesn't have to watch the kids and Dee Dee can go shopping with Betty. So they don't have to watch, they can just watch the game and the kids can just be in the room. So that was the first bad decision. Second bad decision was Grandpa gets voluntold to feed the children by Stu.
Right.
He gets voluntold to feed all the children who are there.
Right.
Because there's 5 kids there. And so they all get sippy cups, bottles of milk.
Right.
Except for Tommy. He gets chocolate milk, which starts a fight amongst the children. Of course it's going to.
So you want to give the benefit of doubt for Grandpa that he has raised children or has been at least
around children.
And he has 2 children. So, children that are only children wouldn't necessarily fight. But you've had, because there's no one to fight for or fight with. But when you have multiple children, you get a sense of that camaraderie, or the rivalry and the.
Well, and you've got to keep things generally equal.
Yeah.
Amongst the children.
Yeah.
So don't give 1 out of 5 a child.
He hands it to Tommy and he goes, I made you something special. And it's like, dude.
And he didn't even give it to the oldest child, Angelica.
Right?
I mean, that would have made sense, right?
And that's his granddaughter. Wouldn't he know her well?
Right?
Right? My head's cocking.
There was a lot of decisions. And so the kids break out, start fighting over the chocolate milk. It gets everywhere.
Right.
And of course, that's when Dee Dee and Betty come home and to yell.
It gets everywhere while the guys are watching TV.
Yeah, it gets behind them.
Literally, no one notices the commotion, the liquid going everywhere. It just, what?
The sounds?
You're so distracted that you don't hear or smell or none of this is going on with you. Like, so you're so engrossed in this game.
And it was obvious what they were trying to do with this episode, which was to make it a football game with the babies in the hats.
Oh, yeah.
Passing the brown milk, which would be the football, back around and around and around.
Ooh, I have comments. Okay.
Oh yeah. The last thing I wanted to point out about this episode, because I am a dog parent, the dog should not have chocolate milk.
No. We
We had just watched the episode of Bob's Burgers where Gene gives the puppy chocolate.
Right.
And I was like, no,
Right.
don't do that. And they just let it go.
Right.
They just let it go.
Again, decisions.
Dogs don't have chocolate. Dogs can't have chocolate. Okay. That was just my little rant on dogs and chocolate. Do not give dogs chocolate. That's the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
Anyway, it ends up with, we don't even get to see Dee Dee and Betty really mad.
No.
She says something about staining her carpet. That's as much as the anger.
This is so steeped in 1950s.
It is.
Because it reminds me of
that it came out in the 90s.
Yeah, it is weird. I'm reminded of an I Love Lucy episode that's we're further into the series because she's had a child and the child's like 3 years old at this point. So Fred and Ricky are charged with watching him, and they convince Lucy and Ethel that they can do it. They want to do it. They're on board.
And then they don't.
And then they don't because they're watching some sort of fight on TV, and then the kid wanders outside, and then the ladies find him before they even leave. They haven't even been gone 5 minutes, and the kid's already out.
Yep.
Away from supervised eyes.
Yeah, but take that episode and make it a series, and that's what you've got with Rugrats.
Right?
It's just...
I never thought I would say that Lucille Ball was a better mom on TV than this mom.
Even Ricky's a better parent.
Right?
And he doesn't do a lot.
Right? So, yeah. Okay.
This whole show was very frustrating. And if you enjoy it, I'm so sorry for us decimating it. But...
apparently we're not the only ones. I did read some Reddit threads about that.
That it doesn't hold up.
It does not hold up.
No. But there are people who still enjoy it, who want to show it to their kids and da-da-da-da-da. If that's you, good on you. But just know what you're showing your future children.
Yeah.
Know what you're showing yourself.
Whew. So we talked about my initial thoughts about equality and stuff like that. That's the first couple episodes or whatever. So now that we've divulged in some of these things, right, you can see literal breakdown of that equality as the season moves on into season 2.
And it doesn't start off super equal either. I mean,
no, it doesn't. Yeah, but there's still some try. There's still some try at the beginning.
They are trying, but it's not there.
No.
It's not there.
No. And I think the reason that I see it as more equal is because I did grow up with the
maybe I don't see it as equal at all.
Very, very, very specific and rigid roles, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what I may see as equality is not going to be seen as equality from your perspective. I don't super appreciate your further discerning of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, yeah.
My eyes are still clouded by my past.
Of course.
And what I've grown up with.
I mean, everybody's clouded by their past. Your past does affect you, even if you want to deny it.
You're still able to point all this stuff out, though. So,
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the episodes I wanted to highlight. I don't want to talk anymore unless you've got one.
Well, can we talk about 2 characters?
Characters, fine, sure. I don't episode highlights.
I have a little bit about Betty.
Okay.
Betty wears a shirt that has the feminism circle with the cross, the upside down cross underneath it, right? Mm-hmm. That seems to be her thing. So I went to do a little research on her because we don't know a lot about Betty in season 1. And so the internet in its greatest, endeavors tells me that she's an ex-wrestler and she's super athletic and into, she's very feminist and I guess purports to be wanting to be an equal in her relationship with her partner or whatever.
I don't even know that dude's name. He had weird hair. That's as much as I know.
I want to say.
Okay, sure.
I think it's Howard.
I will say that her wearing this and this coming out in the 1990s is representative of the next wave of feminism, which is the third wave feminism.
Okay.
That was
they did a horrible job.
Well, no. It was starting to emerge in the 1990s.
Yeah.
That would be my guess is why they were trying to do that, but I might be wrong.
I mean, they did a horrible job because the way they portrayed her was she always came over to the kids.
Yeah. I have to say she was very impressive. She picked up 3 kids in one scoop.
Right?
That was very impressive.
I don't know if that was a nod to her athleticism.
I don't know, but I was very impressed by just 3 kids scooped up.
Right, yeah.
In one go.
But there's no mention of her being a wrestler. There's no mention of her past in this season. And all that I got from her was that she was either a neighbor or, someone, Dee Dee's friend. Didn't even get that she was her best friend. And that she really likes coffee and different flavors of coffee.
Yeah, that came up a lot. They even talked about instant coffee.
That's all I got on Betty. And I was like, if there's so much to her in her bio,
well,
none of that was portrayed and conveyed to the audience. This is the first
season.
It is the first season.
And so they probably didn't have that yet.
Well, and Betty, it's interesting that, that Dee Dee would be friends with somebody that's so far into feminism.
Right.
When Dee Dee is leaning the opposite direction, apparently.
And more cultural norms.
Right. So, yeah, it's interesting to me that relationship exists even.
Yeah.
So, we didn't get very much information about that relationship.
Yeah, we didn't. I did read that with the parent adults, all of the parents / adults, because the grandpa's in there too, would be fleshed out that it does become more feminist. I wouldn't say that it becomes super feminist as a show, but I did read that as somebody's comment on it.
Yeah, apparently diversity gets more widespread and there's more representation.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's very little and limited.
Yeah.
I was not impressed with what I read. So
okay.
But again, it's the 1990s. It
is.
And this is a children's show. So maybe they broke some barriers in this way. I mean, I don't know. Not aficionado of children's shows. Cartoon shows.
I'm not either.
Or children's shows, period. But anyway, that I was really upset that Betty had much more to her that didn't get conveyed to the audience in this particular season.
My guess is that they didn't have it yet. They didn't know it.
Possibly.
They hadn't written it.
Well, then why give her a shirt?
I don't know. It was a choice to do that at the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying it might go with the third wave feminism.
I got excited that she was going to be lesbian when she came in the first, for the Tommy's first birthday, and I was like, ooh, we might have some LGBT representation here because she has a short haircut and a T-shirt, and I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind this. No, she's married to a man.
Yeah.
Well, she could be bi, but...
She could be, but it doesn't come up.
No, it does not.
Okay.
And then I have another
wanted to talk about Angelica?
I think we have to talk about Angelica.
We do have to talk... So, Angelica is 3. Let's specify that. She's 3.
Right.
So, can't expect a lot from a 3-year-old.
No, but there's a lot of weight that she carries in this show.
She does.
Yeah.
Because she is sort of the antagonist a little bit to Tommy.
She is.
And the other babies.
She uses bullying, coercion, manipulation, her feminine wiles.
She also uses her being able to talk to the adults.
Right.
Because the babies can't. She's sort of she's in this transition phase. Yeah. She can talk to both the babies and the adults.
Right. And she
uses that.
She has too much power as a 3-year-old.
Yes.
Both from a parenting perspective and from a show perspective.
Yes.
This is too much. Too much power for this child to have. And this particular character to have. Yeah. I was not impressed at all. I was really disturbed by her bullying and name calling and really putting down the kids. I mean, just, if she wasn't getting her way, then she wasn't happy.
Right.
And that's not going to fly with me.
Well, and
both as a parent and as a person.
We know she can't have the best home life. Her mom's not around.
Right.
And it's not because she's passed, right? Her mom is a workaholic.
Right.
Her mom, Charlotte, is mentioned, but is never seen in this first season. And Drew is her dad,
right,
which is Stu's brother. And I don't know what he does, but
I think he's an engineer or something.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he works too. So who knows where Angelica goes during the day?
Yeah,
she goes to daycare. That's what it is. She goes to daycare.
Yeah.
But we know there's signs that she doesn't have a great home life. And one of those signs is the Cynthia doll.
Oh, yeah. I was very much reminded by the Barbie movie.
Okay.
Do you remember the character? I don't remember the actress's name.
The weird Barbie?
Yeah, the weird Barbie. That's what I reminded with her doll. Yeah.
So it's suggested that Angelica did that to Cynthia because the other Cynthia dolls later in the series have full hair.
Ah.
So she did that to her doll.
Yeah.
That's what she wanted to do.
No parent, no adult in her
That's
life.
not a warning sign?
Right.
I know that's a warning sign. I don't have kids.
And how do you not realize that this child has got all these skills to manipulate the kids, to also none of the parents see through her manipulation of the parents,
right?
The adults. Like, how is it that the 3-year-old has way more skills at social skills,
right?
At just interacting with people than the rest of the cast?
Kids are ignored throughout the whole season,
right?
The kids are just ignored. They are dropped off in the middle of a living room and left to be alone.
I have a question for you,
okay,
because we're mom and daughter. So do you think that bothers you because you had all of my attention and I was this quote unquote helicopter mom? Do you think it bothers you that these kids are ignored in this way?
I think it's the age.
Okay.
Like I said, if they were 5, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay.
But because they're 1, 2, 3,
they're not
old enough to make decisions. They can get into shit.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
And there's it happens. Tommy gets into, what is it? The pots and pans cabinet right in front of Dee Dee and Stu. And they don't stop him.
Mm-hmm.
They just let him go. Let him destroy the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, when they went missing.
So
she was like, "Where are the kids? Where's Tommy?" And then she starts getting all acting. I'm like, "You're the reason we have true crime."
Right? You're the reason that we have true crime.
So you don't have a personal...
No.
From your own background. You're not taking it from a personal thing.
I know how old children are, like how old they should be for when they should start being more independent.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 year old is not it.
Right. They don't have a form of their own autonomy yet. Yeah.
You're lucky he's walking.
Right? Yeah, he can't even communicate that he wants food or anything like that.
No.
Which is the only way to do that is to cry. Yeah. At that age.
And that's the other thing that bothered me about the show was the crying. I did not enjoy that.
As a parent, I didn't either. And of course, if I was breastfeeding, it would probably show.
But yeah, my problem with it, I think, is the age.
Okay.
That's
I'm just curious if it really affected.
No,
this is just general human knowledge. Then
human knowledge. It's not
from your own background. Okay.
From my background, no.
Okay. Just curious.
No, I think it's an age thing, and I understand if you have to, turn away for a second. That makes sense, but that's not what they do.
No, they actively make these decisions to move away from their children and go away from their children and allow them to have access to things that are going to hurt them.
Exactly.
Despite having the whatever that
it's not a playpen, it's just a gate.
Sort of barrier thing, yeah.
Which they break through all the time. Angelica pushes it lightly and it comes apart. So it's not secure.
No, the kids put it up on little those toy blocks and then they raise it and then they just crawl underneath it. So
Did they actually do that in this
Yeah,
season?
Phil and Lil did that. They put blocks underneath it and then they crawled underneath it. But Phil and Lil are just either they're a few months older or they're a 1 year older.
They're supposed to be a year and a half.
18
Chucky's
months.
supposed to be 2.
Okay.
And Tommy is just now 1.
Ah, okay.
So Phil and Lil, which they're cute.
Phil and Lil DeVille.
I know.
We gotta get the whole thing in.
It's very cute. But I have to say, one of my favorite little vignettes was when Phil puts on Lil's bow and cries.
That. Yeah. Even though they didn't change clothes.
No, they didn't change it. They just puts on the bow.
And Phil is wearing shorts and Lil is not. So how do you not know that your own twins?
Right.
Like, you don't have an active. If you have twins, now I'm not a parent of twins.
No.
But I have no idea how to raise them or anything like that, other than just general.
I understand mixing them up early on, but as soon you start to get.
But in 18 months, you don't know your kids,
right?
Yeah. Or their cries, because it seems like their cries would be different.
They would be, because their voices are different.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Any other characters you want to talk about?
No. I mean,
okay.
No. Those two I wanted to get across, but no.
So I have some miscellaneous stuff. I know you have some miscellaneous stuff. I don't have a lot. It's not like the Munsters, people. We're not going to be here forever. So I have 3 money things.
Oh, okay.
So money was mentioned in episode 2B, 7B, and 10B. So in episode 2B, this is a restaurant episode, and it's $390 for the food.
$300?
$390. Well, for the food and for what he
destroyed. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think it might just be for the food. It wasn't super clear. It just said receipt. But that comes out to $918.58.
Oh my god!
So nearly $1,000.
Wow.
In this restaurant in one sitting.
Where Stu is actually trying to sell an invention and, he doesn't and get an investor. Mm-hmm. So you just wasted $100.
Well, he's not spending. He's not buying it. It's the rich dude who bought it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in episode 7B, $250 for the therapy appointment. That comes out to $588.
Wow.
For one therapy appointment.
Right, for someone to go, and he's drawing pictures.
Well, and the thing about it is, so that episode, let me talk side tangent for a minute. So it's called Mama Trauma, which I guess is more because Dee Dee's the one that pushed him in there, but Dee Dee's not the one with the problem.
Nope, I didn't understand the title either.
Stu that had the problem.
Right.
Anyway, okay.
And also... Hello, it's a child psychologist, and the child is not in the room.
Right, you didn't notice the child was gone.
What the F, man?
Right, none of the adults paid attention.
And I could totally go on a tangent on ethics on that.
I know.
I'm not going to.
Okay, so the last one is in episode 10B. This was at the supermarket. And Grandpa calculated that the food in his cart, which was a full cart, was $6.15 for the food.
Wow.
So that's not right because that comes out to $14.49.
No.
That can't be right.
I shopped in the 90s. It wasn't that cheap.
No. I was like, that's way too cheap.
I mean, especially Southern California.
Right? That's too cheap. Anyway, that's all I have for my money.
I've got a little bit of a reference to money.
Okay.
I don't want to mention this, but I think it has to be mentioned considering the current climate that we're living in.
Okay.
Episode 6A was the burglary episode. Did you catch the name of the guy that they were trying to swindle money out of and burglarize?
Thump.
Ronald Thump.
Oh, yeah, I caught it.
Was a reference to a certain person that I'm not going to name in this podcast.
Well, and also, did you catch that they, I think, had, was it Boston or New Jersey accents? I can't remember anymore.
Something like that, yeah.
I was like, why? Why did you make these criminals? Is it supposed to be equal mob? Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't know.
I don't know. And I'm
it
not
was
even
a choice.
Right. The whole episode was wasteful.
It was.
It did not even need to be in this realm. There was no reason to reference this person. Like, none of it. None of it had any value.
A lot in all of this. Because it is a children's show, a lot of it is wasteful. They don't say anything.
Right.
But a lot of children's shows nowadays, and even in the 2000s, started getting better about that and actually having some kind of story.
Right.
Even if it does come out to nothing, there was a lesson to be learned. And it was obvious what the lesson was.
Right. So this first season, I will caveat this. That, you know, I don't know what happens in season 2 through 9.
No.
But Chucky apparently has some backing to being the voice of reason and have caution because he has anxiety.
Well, and you can see that. And he's also the oldest. He's 2.
Right.
He has a year more behind him.
Constantly saying, I don't think this is a good idea.
Right.
And then tries to get Tommy to slow down on the decision making. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think there is something to that. But
in general,
no.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go through your miscellaneous first?
We actually covered most of them already. I have 2 that we did not cover.
All right.
One, the grandpa or pop says, "Jump in Jehoshaphat."
Oh, okay.
A couple of times.
Yeah, he does. I have something about that, but you can go.
Yeah, no, I wrote it down. I was like, what the heck is that?
Right.
And I grew up Christian religious. So I'm not that now, but
no.
So, but I was like, what is that? And I'm surprised I hadn't heard of it, but it's a humorous exclamation, likely stemming from a biblical king, Jehoshaphat. Mm-hmm. It's a way to express surprise, alarm, annoyance, often used in a way that avoids explicitly using a sacred name like Jesus or Jehovah. And I was like, oh, okay. I had never heard of it before. And he actually says it twice in the season.
Is from the Hebrew Bible. That's why you haven't heard of it.
Oh, and this kind of leans to the Jewish faith. Mm-hmm. Interesting that he would say it, though, because he's not Jewish. They're actually Stu and Grandpa are from the Christian faith.
Right, and then Dee Dee's parents are
Russian
Polish.
Jewish.
I thought it was Polish.
No, Russian.
Are they Russian?
From what I was getting is Russian.
I'll go with you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
They didn't come up very often.
They did not, but I thought it was interesting that there were some accents being tried to be portrayed, and I was like, are we doing some culture appropriation here?
Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of that in the whole thing. The second episode where the dog gets the mask on its head. Do you remember that? Where the kids go into the other yard to get the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why that mask was a decoration.
Ah, yes.
So,
yeah.
Cultural appropriation there. Anyway, do you have any more?
I didn't add that as my trigger warnings. I'll have to add that so I can put it in the
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yes. I have one more.
Okay.
Very first episode.
Okay.
Tommy has a screwdriver.
I know it's a regular screwdriver.
Well, to us it appears that way, right?
True.
But
the other ones are plastic.
The other ones are toys. Yeah. Apparently this becomes a thing later in seasons, and it's like a security thing for him.
Okay.
Also, it's a nod to his relationship to his dad, and because his dad's an inventor and uses tools and blah, blah, blah. So I just found it interesting because I wrote with a bunch of question marks, Tommy has access to tools.
Right. And it's taped underneath the high chair. How do you not notice that? Right.
There's that. And then I was doing some research on it. And later in the series, he actually stores it in his diaper.
Nice.
Like a superhero with some sort of tool or some sort of
and he also doesn't wear pants.
Weapons.
That kind of bothers me too.
It bothers me as well. And there was one episode where he actually had clothes on. I was like, wait, is that the same kid?
Right. Is that the same kid?
Because he had overalls.
There was a lot of choices. They took him to an amusement park, the movie theater. They tried to go to the Grand Canyon. All terrible choices for children that small.
Right? They're not going to remember it.
They're not going to remember it, nor are they really going to care.
Right? Yeah. Anyway, so
we could go on and on, obviously.
Oh, I do have another little tidbit.
Little tidbit? Okay.
So in the episode for the psychologist,
as
much as that was disturbing, Tommy goes on his little adventure and stuff, and he's chasing after a freaking ball, which is in a weird way how it was given to him. But anyway, the ball lands in this wall-mounted thing. Then they do a
pan into
it. A pan into it. I thought it was some sort of water vessel. It's not a water vessel. It's an ashtray.
I know.
I didn't even recognize it. So then I was looking at why, when did wall-mounted ashtrays, because this is a public building.
Yeah.
When did they get removed from public buildings? And actually it was the mid-90s when bans of smoking inside buildings and stuff started to really come around. So
At
this
first-
is actually right on spot for the
Yeah.
history of 90s and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
When I first saw it, I thought it was like a water font that you do like it's the Catholic faith where you
yeah.
dip and then
I was looking for a water fountain, like a little spout, but it didn't have one.
It
I
didn't
was like,
have
then
one.
it's not that. And then they panned it, and I was like, oh, it's an ashtray.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the ball is covered
Wait.
supposedly.
Supposedly, yeah. Okay.
It was gross.
It was gross. I did try to look that one up, but I'm glad you caught it too. Okay. So I have a little bit of trivia. It's not a lot. So bear with me, people. Episode 1, Pin That Tail on the Donkey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I decided to look that up because I was like, where the hell did that come from? Why the hell do we play this?
Okay, wait. Can I make a guess?
Sure, go ahead.
1900s? Later.
Later.
Oh, really?
Late 1800s.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Because I was going to guess 1850s later. I mean, my next guess.
1800s. Late 1800s. Do you want to guess
So, wow. I'm 100 years off.
where it's from?
1850s. Hold on. 1850s.
I would say 1880s. It's closer.
1880s. Okay. We're going to go with...
Get a lock in your guess?
Hold on. It's like you want to do the Jeopardy music? No.
I can't sing past that.
No,
think.
right? The one note. I'm going to say high society in England.
No.
Dang. Okay. Completely off. Okay.
Completely off because it was northeast central U.S.
What?
rural farms
Oh, that makes sense.
because of the donkey.
Well, and I was thinking about, okay, so the U.S. hadn't been settled yet, really. But it makes sense that it would
Yeah.
be from rural.
It's because kids were trying to find things to do, and it spread quickly because it was easy, cheap, and anyone could do it. It wasn't just for kids. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't, and it's also not about winning, right?
Did they start with an actual donkey, though?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
I think
So it has always been a paper thing?
I think it's a picture thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A drawing and then a drawing
Okay.
and
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, sometimes the stuff is...
Yeah.
You never know what the history is.
I know, but so Dee Dee mentions it that they're gonna play that at Tommy's first birthday party. Which again, why?
Why?
That's not something you play with anything.
None
that
of the
small,
kids are going to do it.
right? They're too small. The adults will.
They'll stick it to themselves.
I mean,
Walk around with tails on their heads.
right. I mean, I will say, as I was doing my research, there is a drunk version if you want to do it.
Oh,
Pin
yes.
the
Get
tail
me
on
on
the-
board for that.
Pin the tail on the donkey.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bunch of versions now. Anyway, also in episode 1, Angelica lands in a burlap sack of flour.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this has to be a nod to the 1950s because that was not a thing by then. By the 19
In the kitchen?
yeah.
I don't remember this. Okay.
So she lands in it,
Yeah.
and it goes everywhere. The flour.
I do remember her face coming up all white.
Yes, and so she's in a she's in a burlap sack, and I was like, when did they stop doing that?
Sounds like an Acme situation from like
Right.
the Looney Tunes.
So they stopped doing that in the 1960s. Well, started to shift from the 1960s because it ran out of favor. Because originally what they were doing was they were selling flour, other grains and sugar in these burlap fabric sacks. And that was really prevalent during World War II, the Great Depression here in the U.S., and World War I as well. It was even encouraged during World War II by the U.S. government to use these fabrics that in clothing because that's what poor communities were doing. They were specifically making dresses. So much so that manufacturers started doing special patterns on the fabric that they were selling the flour in
Oh,
so that they could have different kinds of clothing.
interesting. Okay.
After World War II, it fell out of fashion. And so by the 1960s, companies were switching to paper or plastic because it was more cost effective.
Again, I'm reminded by an I Love Lucy episode.
Yep. I know. Again,
late in the
50s.
series. Yeah.
Why is this in the 50s?
I was sitting here thinking about that because I followed my train of thought, and I was like, the lady who created this was likely
Pulling from our own childhood?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, how else are you going to have a perspective like this and culminate this cartoon with?
Yeah.
I mean, it is an embodiment of her own raising?
Yeah.
Question mark? So yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so episode 4A, Grandpa says fiddlesticks.
Mm-hmm.
So I've said fiddlesticks. I've heard fiddlesticks. I didn't know what the fuck that was. So I decided to look it up. Fiddlesticks originally was the plural of fiddlestick, which is a bow used to play a violin or fiddle.
I mean, that sounds apropos and
right?
Reasonable.
Eventually, there was a phrase in the 18th century called fiddlesticks end, because fiddlesticks come to a point, which meant nothing. Fiddlesticks end meant nothing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So then it got reduced to just fiddlestick or fiddlesticks, and then now it's used as an expression for mild annoyments or a dismissal.
Okay.
Fiddlesticks.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Are we get through it?
No, I've got more.
Are you said it wasn't going to take very long.
It's not going to take very long. I've got 3 more.
3 more?
They won't take very long. One of them's really fucking easy. In episode 10A, a crossbite is mentioned, which is what the dentist says Stu has, which I had to figure out.
So many problems with this episode.
That makes sense, because, yeah, dentist trauma.
No, I actually put that aside.
Oh, you did?
The fact that the 1-year-old with 1 tooth went to the dentist.
Oh, yeah, that didn't make any sense.
And he makes this grand gesture about telling them to get him off the bottle because it's going to cause all kinds of problems or whatever. And I'm like,
that's up to the child. Should be up to the child.
Well, not only that, but he has 1 tooth. He has 1 tooth.
Right. And they're going to go away. They're baby teeth.
Okay.
Anyway, so Stu is mentioned to have a crossbite. It basically means your upper teeth are behind your lower teeth. And it can just be a single tooth is like that. That's what a crossbite is.
Wow.
Yeah. So in episode 10B, not 10A, 10B, Malomars were mentioned.
Oh, I know what those are.
Yeah, I didn't know what those were.
Yeah.
They're still produced.
Yeah.
They're still produced. They're produced by Nabisco. It's a graham cracker circle overlaid with marshmallow and then a thin shell of dark chocolate.
Yep. I used to live on them.
Yeah. So they were introduced into the public in 1913.
Wow.
Malomars are generally available through early October to April. They're not distributed during the summer, mostly because they melt really easy in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And also it's a marketing ploy.
Interesting.
Ta-da! Malomars.
Yeah, I used to live on... I'm thrown back into a childhood memory.
Okay.
Especially in high school. Yeah, we used to live on Malomars and Keeney
Star
bars.
Crunch?
Star Crunch and Dr. Peppers.
Yeah.
Not a good diet for a high
That's what you
schooler,
told
but
me.
yeah. Malomars were part of that.
That's what you told me.
Right now I'm having this memory of sinking my teeth into this soft graham cracker because it's not hard or anything.
No, of course not.
The whole thing is really soft. So
Interesting.
And it's very crumb. Like you bite one and the crumbs go everywhere. So, yeah.
So for our Canadian listeners, the Malomars are similar to a Canadian Whippet.
Okay.
Or a Viva Puff.
Okay.
I don't know what either of those are.
Okay.
That's what they're called. Last thing. So in episode 11A, that's the trial episode, they talk about Ring Around the Rosie. Or
the history of that.
Ring a Rosie. That's also what it's known as.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually unknown where it came from. I did a little research. A lot of people say it's from the Great Plague, but that is unfounded. That is not founded in any fact.
I actually think it's Jewish history. It may be a nod to the Jewish history.
Well, it might be, but it's way further back than
And
what
the
we have written
Holocaust.
down. No, it's further back.
Is it further back?
It's
Okay.
way further back.
That was my knowledge of it, so yeah.
It's way further back.
I mean,
And there's a bunch of different versions.
yeah.
In the UK, they say a tissue rather than what the U.S. says, which is, what do we say? Oh.
I don't remember.
Yeah, ashes. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that I did remember. Which is why I was referencing the Holocaust. Yeah.
No, it has nothing to do with any of that.
Okay.
None of that. They don't know where it came from. They've tried to look it up, but it's basically verbal pass down that has just lived on from, I don't know, like the 16th century. I haven't heard it in a
really, really long
time.
Even
longer.
Yeah, because it's a very disturbing song. But as with anything with children, it's really born
I don't
out
think
of
it is
stuff like that.
Really. I mean, it depends on the way you sing it, right? Because here we say ashes,
right?
But they say a tissue, like it's allergies in UK. So
who knows what the history is?
Yeah. Who knows? But that is all of my facts. It is not based in the Great Plague. That was my main fact of that, because a lot of people say it was the Black Plague.
I think that's all I have.
Okay,
I do have an overall question that...
Oh, I have one more thing.
Dude.
I'm sorry. It was about Grandpa, because he has a hearing aid.
Yeah, I was looking at that. So his hearing aid is actually wired into a thing in his pocket. And it's interesting because I was watching Keeping Up Appearances, and there's another episode where this is in season 2, and we didn't cover season 2, but there's a character that is older, and she has an actual physical. I was like, oh, they did exist back then. So
they did. Yeah. I looked them up. So there was a transition. There was a people start when the telephone came out. Because before that was ear horns, right? So then they had the telephone, and people realized, oh, I can hear better on the telephone than I can do in regular life. And so they came up with sort of what's called a vacuum tube, and it wasn't very good. It didn't work very well, and it would break pretty easily. But then they came out with what he's using. In 1948, the Bell Telephone Laboratories invented the transistor. The transistor can start and stop the flow of a current, and also control the volume of a current, making it possible for multiple settings in one device. The guy who created the vacuum tube, Norman Krim, he was an engineer at Raytheon, he saw the potential for a hearing aid and created this one, basically. And by 1952, he created this transistor hearing aid situation. They became fairly popular. And continued being used through the 90s.
Wow. Okay.
Until they switched over to the more digital ones, which have are just over the ear. You don't really see them.
And now they have some that they're tiny and they slide right in there, and they're like wireless and all kinds of things. Oh, yeah. You can't even see them. They just amplify
what's around you.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I forgot about that one. Sorry, because I put it up.
I actually had written that down, and I took it away because I was like, that's not important.
I found it interesting.
So that's interesting that both of us picked that up. I like that.
I also find it funny, depending on who's animating, depends on which ear it's in. Normally it's in,
how funny.
Normally it's in the left, but sometimes it's randomly in the right.
It was interesting too. One of the little vignettes that was happening, he was highlighted as being a trumpet player. Yep. And with all his buddies from like the war or whatever, his military buddies, and one other of the military buddies was also wearing a hearing aid in his pocket. So I thought that was cute.
That was great.
They drew it. So
they were very popular. These transistor.
I'm sure. Aids. I mean, it probably helped a lot of people. You have an aid like that.
They took off.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
I think that's all I have.
Did you not have anything? I thought you said you had something else too.
No, I went through all my trivias.
Okay, well, on that note, this is not something we're going to watch again unless you, the audience, really, really want us to. So you have to tell us. So go follow us on Blue Sky and tell us.
Right. You can yell at us. It's okay. Yeah. We all don't have to agree.
No.
And
wherever you're listening to this podcast, please follow and like and subscribe.
I just want to point out, too, that you and I did not conversate about this. We had no conversations about this show.
No.
While we were watching it separately. Like, zero conversation. We made it a point to make sure.
We always... So that is something that does happen. We always make a point to that.
Right.
We don't talk about this during.
No. And it actually helped a lot in this because I was quite challenged, and I was being very vocal about that. But you kept saying, "Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to talk about it." And I found it interesting that you were even more annoyed than I was
Yes.
by this TV show, and for different reasons. But I mean,
You were disturbed. I was annoyed.
Very disturbed. Yes, very disturbed.
This is just not going to be it's not a show for us.
No,
I don't care to watch children. That is my biggest thing.
Right, and it's not going to deter us from going over or having conversations about or talking about other children's shows. We have others coming down the pike.
I have other ones in list. And there's one in my head, Jimmy Neutron specifically, that I do want to cover because that is a great show. I have rewatched it as an adult and it was perfectly fine.
Right.
I was not traumatized. This traumatized and annoyed the fuck out of me.
Right. So yeah, we are not going to like every show, and I like that we did challenge ourselves to watch this.
Well, neither of us had really watched it.
Neither of us had really watched it,
and now I understand why I never watched it as a child because I did not care.
Right.
It's kids. Right, I didn't care.
I think it had cultural and historical relevance to what we are doing with this podcast. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really, really important that we cover it.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to like it.
No. And we're not going to like every show. And
we are not. But that's not going to keep us from watching it.
There's going to be times where you're going to like a show and I'm not, and vice versa. So.
And we're happy to take suggestions. So hit us up on Blue Sky and give us some pointers if you guys want to hear us cover something.
Yeah.
We're happy to do it, whether we like it or not. We're going to stomach it and we're going to do it.
Yeah. That's what this is showing.
Exactly.
All right, everybody.
Take care of yourselves.
Love yourself.
Be compassionate.
Always.
All right. See you next time.